have Silvio here in the house. He's from Brazil and he now doing his business after finished Chevening study 2015 and 2016. Is it? So can you share a bit more about your Chevening background or something? Yeah, Silvio. Yeah.
Yeah, hi everyone, and I'm very happy to talk to you. So I finished my Chevening journey in 2016, October 2016, after doing a master's in innovation, creativity, and leadership. So my master's was in London at CAS Business School, which is a school from the City University of London. So actually, my journey never ended in September 2016. It's still on, I'm still in touch with Chevening. I think Chevening is a lifetime journey, it's not only for 1 year at all. So right now I'm working on my dissertation project, which was a prototype from a booking. It was a booking platform, prototype of a booking platform for events in Brazil. And we have been on for 3 months. We launched it 3 months ago.
Wow,
and
congratulations.
yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so it seems to be like really like a wonderful journey and has a really positive result. So let's get back a bit to the story behind and before that. So how did you
Okay.
end up in that innovation, entrepreneurship, leadership studying, and why Chevening? Yeah.
Yeah, so my Chevening history starts back there in 2010 when I first applied for it. And I remember I was a management consultant for a Brazilian big company here. And then I decided to apply for Chevening. I went to the interview and I didn't get it. And mostly because I didn't know what to do, what masters to study. I wasn't sure about it.
Oh.
And then I think 5 years later, I decided to apply again, and things were much more clear for me. But I want to apply for innovation because I was doing some type of innovation in the company I was working for, especially like in software management and development. So I want to apply for something related to make things happen, to make ideas come true. So that's the reason I applied for innovation, and this master was the perfect choice for me, because it was very practical. I could leave my comfort zone and understand the creativity and the innovation process, how it works. And then I have all the skills and the tools to apply and make it happen in a better way, So that's how I applied for Chevening, how my Chevening journey starts,
Wow, there's a lot of things here to ask you more because
Yeah.
it's inspiring. So you mentioned that at the beginning you already like managing consultant for big company,
Yeah.
which means you had a lot of experience, corporate experience. So why did you decide to leave that? Even that, a good thing that is really like beautiful job, and also why did you not have that kind of clarity about what you want to study at the beginning?
So my background is in business administration, and I have been working before. My total time of working for consultancy related jobs was about 13 years. I wouldn't say I was tired about it, but I would say I was not complete, there was something missing in my life. So it's maybe related to the things I like, my passions, and even when I applied for Chevening, it made me ask. I remember the questions about long-term objectives, your goals, what you want to do, and then it made me reflect on it. I wasn't really happy with my status, even though when you do work well, you get promoted, you get a good job, and that's quite risky because sometimes you get a little bit blind of your own will and passions. So I wanted to change. There was something telling me hey, that's not what you want. You want to do something different. You want to cause some impact somewhere else.
Wow.
And that was my main objective, to leave my comfort zone and figure out what my goals would be and how I could do something better, in terms of leadership and implementing ideas.
Wow, beautiful
Yeah.
you're sharing. Like you mentioned that it's like something not complete, even though everything going well, but something missing. Can you share the particular experience or anything to make you realize that, or is it like cultivate over time until one day you realize that because you're sitting in the room and you start feeling, or what was the moment like you kind of had that realization and make a decision to step out of your comfort zone? Yeah.
I think it's not like from the night to the day, it takes some time to realize, but I think it took me a lot of time. I remember when I did the first application in 2010, there was something telling me, okay, you need to do something. And then it's like you get a new project, you start to help your family in the business. So I went to a family business as well to work not as a consultant but as a leader of management. So due to different situations, I just went, kept going, doing the same routines. But there's like little things telling you, there is finally your time to change has come, and there is no specific event, you know what I mean? It's something slow, at least with me. Maybe with other people it's different. But then I am 37 years old now. I was 35, 36, and I said, yeah, I think it was the right time. I have enough experience, and maybe I was brave enough, and I have some type of resource to say, okay, let's do this now, let's not postpone anymore.
Yeah.
That was how it worked,
Wow. Beautiful. You mentioned like that's why we can hear the voice insider telling us about what actually we truly want to do, and it's kind of like comfort zone, and it's kind of like our higher self and really full potential, so we can contribute more and feel in a way like fulfilled. So that's what also another thing I learned from your sharing is about never give up. So I never heard any story about somebody like apply the scholarship after 5 years, because normally like last year and this year. So why did you wait until 5 years, and what do you think the difference is between the second time you apply, apart from having clarity about the major you study?
Yeah, so the first time I applied, I was looking for some masters, and then you need to choose a master's, and I was looking for the types of masters that I could apply, and nothing really appeared to me as interesting as the one I got now. I remember I was a business student, so with business background. Usually the business background people look for the MBA or related studies, but I wasn't really happy with this type of masters. I wanted something out of the box. And back there in 2010, there wasn't a lot of things related to entrepreneurship and innovation or out of the box masters, And when I found the one I did, which is innovation, creativity, and leadership, that's what I want. And I think there is still not so many similar masters like the one I did, which was life-changing to learn the topics, but to practice, to change the way your mindset works, So that was the main reason I think in 2016 was much easier to take the decision, because when I saw the masters, I was really happy with it, that's what I want. And I wasn't so happy with the ones I looked for in 2010. And definitely that was the main point for my application being accepted in 2016 and not in 2010. Because I remember the interview was so good there in 2010. We had a good interview, but he asked me, okay, where are you going to study? What kind of topic? And I said, you know, I'm looking for a master's, but I don't know yet. So I wasn't like, I couldn't sell confidence because I wasn't confident, you know, about it.
Yeah.
So I was lucky to find this one in 2016. I'm really happy with this decision, you know.
Okay.
It was a life change experience, you know. We had like subjects related to arts. It was multidisciplinary masters. So we have subjects related to arts, to law, to business, to psychology. So there are like so many different schools and subjects, but they mix one masters, and it's connects and integrates so perfectly, you know. And that's it, you know.
Well, I love what you share about the kind of like, you know, ambiguity going to the interview and say, oh, I don't want, give me money, but I don't know what I'm gonna do, and that's like, so that's so important to have the clarity and know it kind of like exactly, or at least you have a strong desire about what you're going to study. And I believe that your sharing are good, and if we don't feel that clarity, we can keep learning and developing, and we can see that clear every single day. So
that's true.
Wow, it's so interesting. Can you share a bit about your application? Do you think your leadership and your networking, what would be the main points in there you think you can base or convince the Chevening people that you are the one? You know?
In my application, let me remember. But I think when you do the application, there are questions that makes you reflect, and then Chevening is a leadership program. You know, it's interesting when you do the application and realize that they're looking for people that is people of leadership skills, but also with potential to influence others on your hometown or your home country. So kind of question made me reflect, like how can I influence positively people? How can I cause some impact? And then I saw some connection between these questions and my own goals, you know. So I think it was quite honest to just tell what I want to do, like in my next years. And I think my goals met the Chevening goals somehow, especially in terms of my interest in entrepreneurship. You know, I want to make things happen, and I think Brazil has a lot of not only potential but a lot of room for innovation and cause positive impact on people. So I think they saw that connection between my goals, the potential to cause impact. And also I think a key point was the type of masters that I got. I applied for a top university in London, which is probably top 5 in UK. And I think they're looking for people who are applying for top masters in UK, you know, so it increased the possibility of you, how to say, applying what you learned in your when you go back to your country. So probably my goals were like important. Also the type of masters and the quality of my masters, you know, were very important. Those are the things I remember like as the most important things. And I don't know, probably somehow they saw that I was in the right time to do it. I know there is a lot of younger people doing the Chevening, but I think I had I had experience enough. You know, I think it gives me more, how to say, a bigger learning to make sure when I get back, I am more able to implement things, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's so true. Like when you already have experience, working practical experience, and you see what missing in the picture that you want to view, and then you go and get that missing part, and you go back and you can accumulate that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, it's beautiful. And you share about the matching between the Chevening goals and your goals, because I think it's so crucial where people invest in. fantasy or what you are going to do, where they're going to contribute, what they actually want to build. So yeah, beautiful. And
Yeah, I think they want to know what are your projects, and how important your project is. Not only your life project, but how you're gonna cause impact. Like
yeah,
positive impact. Yeah.
lovely. That's true. Like they invest and you receive and you contribute back to society. So,
Yeah.
and can you share about how did you make the best out of Chevening experience? Yeah.
Yeah. So as I told you, London, for example, I would talk about the Chevening experience, but it is related also to be there in UK, and so many things going on, and I to say focus on the masters, but
Uh-huh.
also there are so many things going on around the masters. In my case, there were many events related to entrepreneurship, to leadership, to innovation, to creativity. So in the academics area, I try to be there in as many as possible events and extra activities related to my areas of interest. And Chevening provides a lot of network as well, network events and nice and interesting events where you can get to know people. So secondly, I would say try to talk to as many people as possible to get to know them. So it was the richest, how to say, it was very, I forgot the word in English, but it was very nice to meet people from different backgrounds, different culture, on different countries that I've never been and I had no idea about it. So I try to be there in the team events as much as possible. I try to talk to people, to keep connected, and I think I did well doing this. And I would suggest Chevener try to get to know these interesting people from Chevening. They're nice. I even invited some of them to participate on my dissertation, so I did a workshop with them. So I think that's very important. It's a unique chance to get to know very interesting people that you would never imagine that you'd meet one day. But don't forget also the pleasure, try to travel, to visit countries and cities, England, Wales, and Scotland, Ireland, wherever you can travel, like Bristol,
Yeah.
it's
Come
it's
here.
really important. The cultural background of the program is also part of it. Don't deny, don't how to say, underestimate that. It's very important, and try to be there also. There is time for everything. There is time for studying, there is time for traveling, there is for networking, and you can make it all. It sounds overwhelming, but it's not. You can do it.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing the thing about actually learn from everyone, from diversity of people, and this is a beautiful thing in UK. I think like you can actually meet people from all walks of life, and each better achieving people from more than 100 countries. So you can keep connected with them, and we don't know in the future we do something together. And you also there's time for everything. I love that one. But it's about how we arrange, how we actually prioritize that. Can you share about how did you prioritize your time? How did you manage it well?
Yeah, so I think managing time is very important. There is time for everything, but I think you need to have discipline.
Oh.
For example, sometimes I remember being in the library for 20 days in a row until 10 p.m. since 8 a.m. So, but then I could travel for 5-6 days because I had the discipline to do it. I think you need to know the time for pleasure, the time for traveling, the time for studying, for working, on the projects. So, but discipline is a key point on it. Go there, wake up early in the morning. Don't procrastinate. And then you can make.
So how can you maintain your discipline? Because everyone kind of like know that discipline is really important, but then how you can actually cultivate that discipline muscle? Like how can you maintain it? Yeah? What is your motivation? Or what is your way of maintaining it?
When I think about, I think two things are important. One is a routine. You need to have a routine, set up the activities, the right time to wake up, the right time to study, and try to be as productive as possible. So if you are in the library, don't go for Facebook and Instagram. Focus on your objectives. And I think another important thing is to set some goals, like daily goals. And then this comes from my business background, my management background. So I spent 13 years telling people to set up goals, and then I need to apply it myself, right?
Yeah.
So I think you need to have your long-term goals, but then you have to have your weekly goals and daily goals. It keeps you focusing on the target. And also don't forget that if you save time now and work and you have discipline now, then you have the pleasure later,
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I knew that if I could work well, be productive and have discipline, and in front of me there would be a trip to Bristol, and then, so I definitely made it,
Yeah, and this interrupting here that our friend Silvio love Bristol where I'm studying, so I'm really glad, and that's probably make him share even more because I'm from Bristol. Thank you for that, and you mentioned about the way of doing or being disciplined about when you go. Productivity, focus on what you're doing at one time, and create the habits routines. Lovely. So, can you share about one routine that you think is really important in your success in life, and you should cultivate those?
A routine, and during the masters, you mean?
No,
okay.
It can be in general. The routine you think that's important in your success in life.
A routine. Okay. A routine which is important in my life, in business or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me say. I think I always define weekly goals, and then I define every Monday in the morning. I write down my goals of the week. So that is very important for me to, and then also it's not only my project goals but also my personal goals. So I try to have goals, in my life. That is a routine that I keep doing forever,
Yeah, it's really effective in helping you to achieve and get influence, scale business, or even scale your personal development. Interesting. So my friend, setting goals. Even today you're watching this interview is also the goal of your day. So congratulations, you're almost finished because we almost finished.
No problem.
Yeah. What about after you studying? Can you share how did you go back, and did you feel any kind of reverse culture shock? Which means you here it's really great, and you said it will help you to say goodbye. So you go back and that kind of settle down your country. Even though things are different, totally different from Ukraine somehow.
I'm, how to say, I get used to places and people very easily, and I don't have a hard time in moving in back, so it was not hard for me to arrive in Brazil, meet my family and friends. It was quite easy, The day after, I was Brazilian again. But it was hard to say goodbye, you know what I mean? I get so used to people and the place, and everyone there. But I had a hard time to say goodbye. That is my flaw,
Yeah.
I spent a week, how to say, sad in London, walking alone to say, oh my God, I'm leaving, But then, as soon as I arrive, it's new life. Let's go, let's move on, and it was really nice again to be on a hot weather again. You know?
Yeah.
And
Beautiful. Yeah. I
yeah,
love what
so
you say about moving on, because the end of
yeah,
something is the new of something else. And if you look at that way, we always move on and we appreciate what actually we do. So yeah,
and
achievement.
also, and oh sorry, I just would like to add that also, you know, in Brazil there's a lot of people, we are living like a tough time now, politically, economically, socially. So it's very common to hear people complaining and whining all the time. Uh, I am a little bit different. I try to think positive all the time. So, and then I said, you when you apply for Chevening, you start to reflect on your position around, you know, the society you live in. Uh, so, despite complaining of okay, in London was great and here is bad, I try to see like how can I influence, you know, people around me and also the place I live to be a better world, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how I try to instead complain, even though like we are not blind, we see the problems, you know, the issues that we have, but I help, you know, how can I change the world? And entrepreneurship and innovation are good ways to do it, you know,
Yeah.
somehow.
Wow. Beautiful. So instead of complaining and look at it like negatively, we can do something about that. And even we look at it negatively,
Yeah.
we may not change it. So we acknowledge, but anyway, we do something about that. So I love that
Yeah.
sharing. So we're gonna need to end now because Silvio has a meeting and I also have meeting.
Yeah.
Meeting here. Thank you so much for your sharing today. Can you just say one last sharing that you want to share for our future achievement and future leader?
Yes, I'd like to say feel confident because everyone is capable of changing not only your own lives but others' lives. So just try it out. You know, innovation is related to trying, and learning. So I think Chevening journey is all about it. You know, all about learning, trying, and then as soon as you do it and you keep doing, you just increase your confidence, which
Yeah.
is the most important thing for success and for changing and making it happen, you know, and affecting people in a positive way. So feel confident, but in the end, as Bob Marley says, everything's gonna be alright, you know.
Yeah, believe in your ability of figure things out and your potential, and keep taking action, and then you gonna cultivate that confidence, and you know, everything gonna go to that direction of your goals. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, I let you go for your meeting, and thank you so much for today, and maybe we catch up another day to update about how and what happening with your project.
Yeah.
Series project, right? So I believe you're gonna have a lot of people, and we're looking forward to that. Yep.
Yeah, thank you for your time. It was really a pleasure to talk to you. And let's keep in touch. You know, we have our contacts now, and have a good interview, good interviews with other Chevening. And if you need anything, let me know. I'll be there.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much. And then you know that my academy in Vietnam will be about leadership empowerment. So I'm looking forward to contact you again, and maybe we can do something together. Yep. Okay.
Perfect. Sounds like a winner.
Have a great
Thank you.
meeting ahead. See you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, my friends, and don't forget to support the channel by subscribing so I can share with you more tools and techniques in the next videos, and put all the tools and techniques into practice to advance your life, and share with us what are your tips, and download this guide, One Page Achiever, the tool to help you to plan your day, take control of your day to increase your productivity. And make sure you grab my book, Non-Stop Loving, Living and Giving Every Single Moment of Life. Beautiful story about my sibling, and the Goal Achiever, the ultimate 9 step to help you to achieve a personal goal, particularly a full scholarship. And this guide unleash your passion to help you free your mind, free your doubts, free your fears, free your limiting beliefs, to live with passion, with vibrant, with full potential every moment of life. I see you in the next videos. Don't forget to non-stop living meaningfully, loving openly, and giving joyfully every moment of life. Love you.